Number 19. Whew, we're flying through it. I'm kind of sad. Study's almost done, right? So we covered Hebrews 7:19, 7:18, 7:12, and 6:11 in the last video. This one we're going to start with Hebrews 10:10. Okay? This is what believing is. All I'm telling you is trust the Bible. Trust what you read. Trust what you're hearing. Trust His Word. Trust in Him in everything you do. I'm telling you. It's awesome. So Hebrews 10:10. There's something unique about this verse that I'm going to briefly touch on in here, because I've got whole more studies coming. Whole more studies. I'm not leaving you empty-handed. I set out to put everything that I know about the Bible on YouTube, because I know what's coming, and I don't need guns, I don't need a bunker, I don't need none of that. I trust His Word. All of it's a waste. Look at Sodom and Gomorrah. Destroyed. Those were 50-ton blocks of limestone. And your 100-foot deep bunker's gonna save you? Are you kidding? Come on, man. How blind can people really be? How dumb? That's the reality of it. Do you know what you're up against when you take on God? Do you have even the slightest idea? How much of your Bible have you read? Have you ever read Revelation? Oh man, I can't wait to do a study on that. I can't wait to put it on here. It's the truth. I'm telling you. Just Google how many prophecies have come true out of the Bible. Do you think, when you see that number, do you really think the rest of it's not going to come true? Do you think it doesn't mean what it says? Do you only believe in the prophecy parts? What about the part where He says that if you sin, you don't know Him? 1 John 3:6. 1 John 3:9 says that if you're born of God, you cannot sin. If you don't understand how that works, salvation assurance number one's for you. You're going to have to watch them all. Right? I can't keep going backwards. You got to move forwards. Spread it. Okay? So let's go to Hebrews 10:10. It says, by the which will we are sanctified through the offering of the body of Jesus Christ once for all. Do you know what that means? One time for all, reconciling all things to Himself, even those things you think are sin. You're calling them sin, hiding them from Him, because you doubt Him. That's what I'm getting to here. You doubt Him. You don't think that that's possible. Well, the Bible disagrees with you if that's what you believe. I don't care about your opinions. I don't even have my own. This is plain as day. Now I want you to notice where it says are sanctified. This is like back in Galatians 5:19, if you remember, where he says the works of the flesh are manifest. Okay? Like, this is what it is. You are sanctified. The second, that split second that you put your full faith in Him, when you start, it takes a couple days, right? Because whatever dirt you do, let's say you smoke cigarettes, right? This is the first time you've ever heard anything like this, maybe. But I'm telling you to read your Bible and trust that. So the first time you smoke a cigarette in full faith, after a couple days, you start feeling where your trust in Him starts binding in you, right? Where you start realizing that He's never going to leave you, that He's never going to forsake you. This is why once saved, always saved. Because when you're saved like this, when you're saved like this, you can never go backwards. And you never will. That's why Peter told Jesus, Lord, where else would I go? You have the words of life. I forget where it's at. It's in John. I did a study on him too. I love Peter, right? But he didn't believe until he saw the body rise. There's a reason for that. He didn't fully believe in Jesus until he saw the body rise. Okay? Same thing like he told Thomas. Oh, you believe because you've seen, but blessed are those who believe and haven't seen. Okay? That's faith. Trusting him in all you do. That's faith. This is what I'm teaching you. You are sanctified, just like when you believe you are saved. You want to believe you are saved, right? Then you better believe you are sanctified the minute that you put your full trust in him. Sanctification is instant, and it's in the Spirit. It's in the Spirit. It's not in your flesh. Any preacher teaching process of sanctification is a joke. They're lying. They don't believe in what Jesus did for real. I'm telling you the truth. I can't wait. I can't wait till it starts clicking for you. I can't wait to hear the stories, the miracles. Oh, you have no idea what's coming. It's awesome. He's everything. You have to come to terms and trust his word. His word, to be able to trust it, it has to mean what it says, and it does. Once that clicks and you're like, ooh, then he's in you. And he never leaves. All right, so Hebrews 10:10. Now Hebrews 8:10 through 13. We're going to do this quick. Hebrews chapter 8, 10 through 13. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people, and they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for all shall know me from the least to the greatest. For I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sins and their iniquities will I remember no more. In that he saith, A new covenant he hath made the first old. Now that is which decayeth and waxeth old is ready to vanish away. Verse 13 again. In that he saith, A new covenant he hath made the first old. Now that which decayeth and waxeth old is ready to vanish away. It can't vanish until all things be fulfilled. He fulfilled the law. The law still stands for the unbeliever. The law still stands for people who say they sin. The law still stands for the people who doubt him in any aspect of their life, because whatsoever is not of faith is then sin, and if you sin, you have not seen him, neither known him. I'm telling you, it's the truth. I'm telling you, you ain't convincing me of sin. This is what he did. You got to trust your word. You got to put the phones down, put life on hold for a second, and attain real life. Stop with these phony YouTube preachers. Shut me off and go read it for yourself. Which one of these jokes tell you that? This is what I'm telling you. Trust your Bible. Go back to the tried and true, the King James, end of story. The other ones don't make any sense. Compare them to the King James. You want to stick to an ESV? You think you understand it better? Compare the study while we're going through it from ESV to King James. See what the ESV does. Go to Zechariah 13:6 in both the King James and the ESV. I'm going to do whole studies on the destruction of his word and how it's done on purpose. How 200 counterfeits, it's done on purpose. The basics. If you go back to understanding the Bible, the basics, I tell you why you need the these, thous, thines, and thys. Why you need the ye. You have to have them. The minute you take those away, you take away from his word. And what does he say about that? Okay? 400 years the King James has been out. It only gets purer. All grammatical changes. You're not going to convince me. Right? It's cool. Even if you have a separate translation, spend a few minutes with me. Let me show you. I can show you the truth in your translation. It's just harder to find. But it's going to boil back to the same thing. You cannot sin and say you know him. It doesn't work. You're kidding yourself. The new covenant. That's what's up. That's what's up. Okay, I'm going to cut it here and move on to the next one. Enjoy your day.